And I get come up to by this guy and his girlfriend, and we were interrupted in the middle of talking and eating, and he said, "Hey, me and Khalifa, can I get a picture with you?" And I looked up at him and I'm like, "No, we're eating." And I said it just like that. Like it was a rude way, but it was also very rude for him to come up while someone was actively in the middle of a conversation. And after I said that, his girlfriend, who was standing next to him, grabbed him by the arm and said, "I told you that wasn't her. There's not enough on her face. Let's go, babe." And I went into the bathroom and cried, and I didn't really know how to handle it, especially because it came from a woman, and especially because I was there for business, and it was something that had nothing to do with the adult industry, and I was just very dejected and embarrassed and felt like they would never want to work with me again.
That must have been really hurtful.
Yeah.
Did they end up working with you still after that?
Yeah, we're still on the contract.
Okay.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope you are all doing well. So on today's episode, we are going to be kicking it off with a clip from Mia Khalifa. Now, guys, if you don't know, Mia Khalifa is a very famous adult actress, okay? She has done many scenes. They're all over the internet. She's probably one of the most popular individuals, okay? And she is one of many women who go into this industry, okay, thinking that it's all going to be sunshine and roses, and then they find out that, hey, wait a minute, it's not. It's degenerate, and people hold it against you. Okay, so we're going to be taking a look at some clips, guys, from some women here who regret hookup culture. But guys, before we jump into it, as always, if you are interested in applying to become a Fiend Gang content creator, you too would like to lose some brain cells, make sure you check out that link in the video description. We're going to have applications open for a little while. I'm not sure when I will shut them, but if that interests you guys, make sure you check out that link in the video description. Without further ado, guys, let's just jump in and take a listen to what some of these women have to tell us. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments.
And I get come up to by this guy and his girlfriend, and we were interrupted in the middle of talking and eating, and he said, "Hey, me and Khalifa, can I get a picture with you?" And I looked up at him and I'm like, "No, we're eating." And I said it just like that. Like it was a rude way, but it was also very rude for him to come up while someone was actively in the middle of a conversation. And
I think she's overblowing this, to be honest with you. I think she was sitting there having a conversation. This person who, I don't know why, is a fan and wanted to take a picture with her. But I think that, you know, she's just overblowing this and making herself appear like a victim. The person just came up, asked for a photo, and she snapped. And I think retroactively, because she didn't like the comment that she was making about her, that was made about her, excuse me, now she has to be a victim.
After I said that, his girlfriend, who was standing next to him, grabbed him by the arm and said, "I told you that wasn't her. There's not enough on her face. Let's go, babe." And I went into the bathroom and cried, and
love these parts of the videos, guys, where the girl will sit there, she'll portray herself as a victim, and then say that she cried. It's really funny as well, guys, because, you know, like, I've noticed that a lot of older women, you know, who are perhaps married or whatever, they see videos like this, and they laugh at women like this. You know, they look at these girls and they say, yeah, I mean, what did you expect? You do degenerate crap. You literally have millions of views on the internet of you doing the most degenerate behavior, and then you're surprised when people make comments about it. Guys, I've made this point before, okay, but I could sit here and I could make episodes that are not like this at all. I could make episodes that are just, you know, cute puppies and really cute animals, and we could sit here and I could make the graphics really light, you know, make it feel very, very nice. We could talk about nature all day, and there'd be some dude in the comments who would absolutely roast me, right? It doesn't matter what you do, guys, but it's actually, you know, it's funny because there's always going to be someone that dislikes you. But it's even funnier when these girls act shocked and surprised when they're out here doing degenerate crap, and then they're like, wait a minute, why do so many people make comments about it? It's absolutely amazing, guys, that these people lack the forethought, and then they cry about it. They're like, oh, I'm crying, blah, blah, blah. Like, guys, I'm sure there are people that leave mean comments on these videos all the damn time. I don't read comments much more these days simply because there's so many. But you know, you can't hold everything to heart, but of course she has to make herself a victim. Like, you guys right now, I don't censor comments in the YouTube video sections. I think I've like banned a couple and they were just bots trying to scam you guys. But to sit here and say, oh, well, I cried over a comment, ridiculous, man. Ridiculous.
I didn't really know how to handle it, especially because it came from a woman, and especially because I was there for business, and it was...
She was there for business. What kind of business do you think this is? Right? She's saying, oh, well, you know, I was there for business and it had nothing to do with all of my previous business. First of all, who cares? Second of all, she says that it hurts more because it comes from a woman. Right? Because it's not a man making this comment. The girlfriend probably didn't like her boyfriend coming up to Mia, right? Because, you know, she's an adult actress, right? So she probably didn't like that in the first place, that the boyfriend wanted to get a picture with her. Again, I don't know why the boyfriend even would want to get a picture with Mia. That's a completely separate thing. But she's sitting here and being like, oh, well, you know, I was here for business. How dare she make that comment? Number one, she snapped at the dude first anyway. Okay, but number two, your business literally consists of what the woman was describing anyway. Amazing, you know, amazing dodging of accountability. It's like that scene from, you know, The Matrix, guys. It's like accountability. All the bullets are coming at Mia, and she's just dodging all of the accountability. You know, we got to pull out the crying, got to pull out the tears, etc.
Something that had nothing to do with the adult industry, and I was just very dejected and embarrassed and felt like they would never want to work with me again.
The voice is quick. Look at this guy, man. Like, he's got on his sympathetic face. It amazes me, guys, how dudes will hear situations like this and then they're like, man, I'm so sympathetic. Like, what do you mean? This woman is literally an adult actress. Like, bro, what is it? Look at him. He's like, oh, that sounds so rough. I'm sorry to hear that.
That must have been really hurtful.
Yeah.
Did they end up working with you still after that?
Yeah, we're still in the contract.
Okay, good.
Oh, good. Dude, it's really funny how you get videos like this. You'll have a woman literally sit there, claim that she's the victim, right? Dodge all the accountability, and then some dude across from her will be like, you know, that must have been really difficult for you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. Amazing stuff. I'm pretty sure this guy, he does like interviews with a lot of people and stuff like that. You would think that everyone's just so like, they need to be what's the word I'm looking for? Like PC, right? You can't upset anyone. You can't say anything that goes against what they're saying. You just have to believe people all of the time. It never ceases to amaze me. Let's continue into the next clip here.
Who controls access to men or women?
Women. Yeah, women. Women, obviously.
Yeah, so I would say hookup culture, if we want to see hookup culture stop, because women kind of control when sex happens, so do you have anyone to blame but yourselves on that one?
Gotta love that self-centered.
Yeah, see, the problem with these clips, guys, is there's too much logical sense, and they're not going to like that. The answer to the question is no, they don't have anyone to blame but themselves. And the women who engage in this sort of behavior, guys, they always come to regret it when 30 years of age rocks around and they can't find a man who respects himself, because any man who respects himself doesn't want a woman with a past like that. Let's continue on to the next clip.
He has. It's the kind of look that men get when they don't realize they're wildly embarrassing themselves. Not to mention positioning themselves further and further away from the opportunity to ever interact with a real-life human vagina. I don't know how this dude...
I'm sorry, that sounds like you're objectifying yourself to me. Like, I'm confused, guys. These liberated women who want nothing more than to be respected reduce themselves to, you know, what's between their legs within 10 seconds of a video. You know, one might even say, guys, that it's embarrassing. I'm not even sure if she realizes how much she's embarrassing herself right here, but let's continue.
And these fresh and fit ding-dongs and all these sad little podcast bros are out here positioning themselves as high-value men who are relationship experts. They're a bunch of like 35-year-old dudes who are unmarried, have never been able to sustain a successful relationship, and they're out here inviting these young girls, at least 10 years younger than them, on podcasts so that they can hope to maybe get a crumb of sexual interest from them.
Okay, so first of all, you seem really upset. I'm sorry to hear that. Perhaps if you went back 10 years in time, you would have been on said podcasts, but that's unlucky for you. Okay, so this woman, guys, is clearly upset let's talk about a few things here, because I get a few questions about this, okay? Before I answer this, I just want to say, guys, that I'm not I'm not for promiscuity from either gender. I don't particularly think that it's a very healthy thing for men or women to go out here racking up body counts, as the people call it these days. I don't think it's a good thing for a man or a woman. But to answer this woman's question, because like a lot of girls say this, you know, well, a guy is 35 and he's unmarried, right? So what gives him the right to comment on any of this? You know, he's not successful. The problem that a lot of these girls don't realize is that a marriage is not a victory for a man. A marriage is in the current year, guys, in Western society, is nothing but a trap for men. It is not men's end goal. Same with long-term relationships, quite arguably. You know, because guys, girls get really confused. They say, you know, oh, well, why is it, you know, fair for you to make all these comments about me being single at 35, but men being single at 35 is a different matter? The answer is because we're different. The answer is because long-term relationships that put a man in serious jeopardy, often including marriage, are not the end goal for a lot of men, nor should they be. Marriages for women and long-term relationships for women are a retirement plan. It's a victory for women, but it's not a victory for men. A lot of these 35-year-old guys, I just want to make this absolutely clear. A lot of these 35-year-old guys, they realize how screwed up marriage and divorce is, and, you know, these courts who will absolutely ruin them. And they say, you know what? They make a logical decision and they say, you know what? I'm not interested in getting married. I'm not interested in having these long-term relationships. And if I do, I'm just going to go leave the West if I'm going to do that. Men's goals and women's goals when it comes to relationships are very different for a very good reason. Let's continue as I click the wrong damn screen. Holy hell. What are you doing, Taylor?
Younger than them on podcasts so that they can hope to maybe get a crumb of sexual interest from them.
Just to say this as well, the reason why these dudes invite younger women on the podcasts is for entertainment. A lot of these guys don't care about the women themselves. They don't care about have you guys watched, right? I don't watch a whole lot of Fresh and Fit, right? I tried watching it for a little bit, but it gave me an absolute headache hearing the women ramble on. I can't do it. I can make these videos, but I can't listen to these podcasts, man. I'll lose my mind, okay? But from what I've seen of Myron, he doesn't care whether the women like him or not. A lot of these guys are not inviting women onto their shows so that they can get, you know, bedroom fun action from these girls. They're inviting the women onto the shows because they know it's absolute entertainment, because the girls give really stupid answers to the questions.
Meanwhile, these girls are just going on there to use them and like further their social media careers. Chef's kiss. But let's
I mean, again, I'm going to play this back, but it's actually a good trade for the dudes running the podcasts. These girls get on there, yeah, they get a few followers, but the reason why the dudes have them on is because it's entertainment.
Out here inviting these young girls, at least 10 years younger than them, on podcasts so that they can hope to maybe get a crumb of sexual interest from them. Meanwhile, these girls are just going on there to use them and like further their social media careers.
Yeah, see, the thing is, this woman doesn't quite understand how the internet works, okay? The dudes who are running these podcasts benefit way more than the women. Just to let you guys know that the dudes who are running these podcasts and, you know, who slice up their podcasts into many different videos and get it clipped all over TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, etc., these guys are making a lot more money than the women who get their shout out in the video descriptions of their Instagram. This woman doesn't know. This woman has a TikTok, which I guarantee you is like not as popular as she thinks it is, and she thinks she understands how the internet works. The dudes are winning in this situation, but this woman doesn't understand this. It's craziness.
Chef's kiss. But let's talk specifically about the content of this video. This idea that women are sexual gatekeepers is so old.
It's also true.
We're talking like add up the ages of at least 10 of Leonardo DiCaprio's girlfriends old. And it's also not very alpha of you, my dogs. Are you saying you can't control your own destiny?
Yeah, see, this is the problem when you start using shaming language and making no logical sense. It starts to make the video that you're recording look a little bit embarrassing for yourself, which is really ironic considering the introduction that this woman made to her video.
Are you saying you can't make the bitches bow down at your feet and beg for it, my dude? Sounds pretty beta. Seriously though, this is where we get the gendered ideas about sex between men and women being about predator and prey and pursuer and the pursued. It's this kind of thinking that allows for and even calls for men's sexual aggression while denying women's freedom.
This woman needs an award for just making the most convoluted, nonsensical arguments of all time. It's really quite stunning how we can make no sense, but then try and attempt to turn ourselves into a victim. It's amazing, guys. It's like, you know, what we do, right, is we take the point that the man makes, we insult him, we use shaming language, and then we position ourselves with a logical inconsistency as a group that's a victim. Well done, madam. You are fantastic literature.
And as for the young women in this clip agreeing that women control access to sex,
They do.
I totally get it. It's likely because of two reasons.
Because it's true.
One is that they've been socialized in this patriarchal environment I'm talking about, where they've been taught that their role is to grant or deny access to sex and not be empowered to go out and explore their own sexual desires. But two is that even at their young age, I guarantee you they have been propositioned by and rejected a shit ton of men.
Wow, that's almost like that's the point that the podcast was making, madam. That's craziness. You know, we got there eventually, but girls like this, guys, it's amazing how they talk themselves in circles, and I swear to goodness, guys, they don't understand what the hell they're saying, because she literally just made the dude's point at the end of the video, at this video right here. That is craziness. Yes, the women can deny, and they can accept whoever the hell they want, because you are empowered, you are liberated, and you can do as you please. Therefore, you are the deciding factor in whether or not you participate in the hookup culture. Ergo, the man's point. Holy hell, man, my brain is going to explode.
And that says more about modern men than it does about the nature of sexual access. These kinds of dudes are so triggered at the idea that they cannot get troves of women to sleep with them.
More shaming language from the woman who's triggered she couldn't get on said podcast.
Because in their minds, they're the absolute pinnacle of masculinity and male achievement.
Nobody has said this. And it's really funny because of the small amounts of these podcasts from dudes that I have seen, they often go above and beyond to say they are not pinnacles of masculine and male achievement. A lot of these guys straight up denounce the words alpha, and, you know, they don't call themselves a high-value man. They talk about these things, and I don't like the words either, personally. They talk about these things, but a lot of these podcasts and videos, they don't refer to themselves as this. And yet these girls, what they do is they hear this language and they say, oh, I can shame him with that, so I'm just going to run with it. Even though, again, a lot of these podcasts and a lot of these men denounce these, you know, these things and don't advocate themselves as an alpha male or a high-value man. They talk about the subjects, but they don't call themselves this. But again, completely escapes this woman because she has to use something to shame the guys in the video.
Male achievement, 1% high value catches. And they hate the fact that so many women can much more easily bone whoever they want. And because their fragile little egos are so hurt, then they go on to slut shame women and say shit about body count and baggage. All the while, they are more than happy to participate in this hookup culture while simultaneously devaluing women for it.
And I actually agree with a little bit of this last part here. You know, she said a bunch more shaming language and bullcrap just there. But I slightly agree with the very last part of here, which is that I don't think it's a good idea for a man or for a woman to be promiscuous. And the reason why I say this is because for men, I actually think it's quite dangerous, especially in the 21st century. Like, you have a lot of girls who are willing to just straight up make false allegations about you. A lot of these girls have diseases. They're not good for a dude's mental health. A lot of them are like Me Too incidences waiting to happen. Okay, there are a lot of dudes who, like, for lack of better words, guys, just completely check out. Okay, I'll tell you a brief story here, guys, because it's funny. I've seen some videos about women complaining that they aren't approached at workplaces, and I might bring this up in a future video. I'll likely tell this same story again in a future video, but like, I've seen a lot of women complain about the fact that men don't approach them anymore, or men don't talk to them at work. There was like that article that came out, oh no, sorry, that bunch of Twitter posts from women complaining that men don't talk to them at workplaces anymore. And it's like, yes, the reason why dudes don't do this is because there's actually a lot of danger in doing it. A lot of guys are not interested in helping you. They're not interested in talking to you because they're just, you know, there's a high likelihood they can just get accused of things they didn't do. And guys, I'll tell you what, right? I'll give you an example of this, okay? I was in the gym the other, like, literally, I think 4 days ago. And I went to the gym very early hours of the morning, okay? And so it was just myself in there, and there was another woman in the gym, okay? So I was doing low cable rows, okay? Seated cable rows. And this woman came she was just on the area next to me, and she started doing tricep pull downs with the most horrendous form that I've ever seen. She might as well have not been doing the exercise at all, okay? She was doing tricep pull downs, bringing her elbows up, just, you know, like doing the form completely incorrectly, not getting much out of the exercise. And you know what I did, guys? I said absolutely nothing. I'm not going to go over there and correct her form. I'm not going to help her. She can get her form incorrect for the next 2 years for all I care. Because I refuse to be that dude at the gym who the girl then says, oh, well, he was creepy to me at early hours in the morning. Screw it, dude. She can screw up her form for the next 5 years. I don't care. I'm not interested. You know, a lot of these girls complain about crap like this, guys, but, you know, back to the video here, I slightly agree with the woman here at the end. I do think that male promiscuity and female promiscuity represent different things. I just think it's a bit unsafe and unhealthy for dudes to engage in it. Women have like a whole bunch of detriments when they engage in it that are a little bit worse than men, in my opinion. But let's keep going.
The bottom line is this. Maybe if you took women's pleasure more seriously,
hell no.
You wouldn't get rejected so often.
Who cares?
Maybe if you developed some semblance of emotional intelligence and actually desired an equal partnership as opposed to a mother or a child or a dog.
I love how these girls rant on and on about equal partnerships, but they only chase men who are their superior. Make that make sense to me, guys. I want an equal relationship. Why won't men treat me equally? You don't even chase the dudes who treat you equally in the first place, guys. You don't believe me? Look at women's swiping statistics on Tinder. Just look at them, guys. I don't need to say crap. Look at the statistics from the type of men that women are selecting, and then tell me that women are selecting their equals and come back to me. Until then, your point makes no sense, madam.
You wouldn't get rejected so often. Maybe if you actually liked women, instead of saying you'd rather hang out with your friends and questioning if women actually have hobbies, you wouldn't get rejected so often.
Holy hell, this woman is so triggered, man. So let's talk about this for a second as well. I want to highlight something here as well. So she says maybe if you actually liked women. It's really funny because a lot of these guys who make these, you know, these podcasts and stuff, they actually like women. They just don't like people like you. That's the difference. You know, a lot of these guys, they don't like modern women. They like traditional women. They don't like girls like you who are raging womanists who blame everything on the patriarchy and who have forearm tattoos and rant on about womanism. There's a very big difference. Like, guys, let me just make this absolutely clear, okay? There's modern women, and then there's actual women. And what boat do you think this woman falls into? But guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there because I'm getting a headache listening to this garbage. As always, guys, make sure to leave your thoughts and your comments, and make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.